Hi, I'm Sabi, and I'm the primary creator for Bats and Cats Art and Oddities. Today, I'd like to take you through making one of these beautiful rings that we make out of mica powder and ground bone dust. The first step is to actually get your bone dust. I primarily work with bones, so I selected one from my collection that I didn't think I could use for another project, and then used the sanding head tool on my Dremel to grind it down and give me the dust. This smells particularly bad, and if you decide to do it, be sure to wear a mask so as to not breathe it in. Once you've ground it down, you should have some of that gray-white powder, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Unfortunately, due to my chaotic nature, I lose everything I need all the time, so here I am looking for the ring core that we'll be using. Not to worry, here it is. We'll be working with a size 9 ring blank, and the first step is going to be to line the center channel with E6000. Use a small amount, but also make sure it goes all the way to the edges to ensure that the entirety of the ring core is coated in what we will be pouring on it. If necessary, you can use a little tool to push the glue out to the edges. You can use this same kind of concept later on when we put on the resin to ensure that the resin completely coats the core. Once you have the glue spread throughout the entirety of the center channel, it's time to put on the mica powder for color and the bone dust as well. I'll be using a violet mica powder today, and from here, just tap it generously over the ring to ensure that it gets properly coated in that center channel. Tap a little more than you think you're going to need just to ensure that it properly coats it. Any excess can easily be wiped off. Next, it's time for that bone dust that we've got earlier. We're going to do exactly the same thing we did with the mica powder and just tap the bone dust generously over the ring. Be sure to use a cup to contain the mess. Any powder and dust that gets on the sides of the ring and outside of that center channel can easily be rubbed off with your thumb or a small towel. Next, we will be using UV resin to seal in the powder and bone dust and ensure that the entirety of the ring is level. Simply drag a small bead of UV resin across the entire center channel. The tricky part here is that once you begin this step, you have to constantly keep the ring in some amount of motion or the UV resin will glob to one side. Use your finger to wipe off excess and ensure that it goes all the way to the edges. You can use a small tool for this if it doesn't naturally flow that way. Next, we're going to rotate the wet ring under a UV light to harden the resin. This part can be a little tedious because in order to set the ring down, the ring has to also harden enough that it will not flow to any one side or glob in any places. Once the ring is somewhat set, you can set it down under a UV light. Just make sure to rotate it and keep the light on for multiple cycles to harden it fully. When it hardens, you'll have one of these beautiful, eye-catching, conversation-starting rings. Thanks for watching our very first Bats and Cats crafting video. We're really excited to have started this, and if you like what you saw or you're interested in oddities, items made out of foraged goods, or just kind of bizarre things, check us out on our socials and our website, which I will link in the description to see more of what we do. Have a great day.